Morning, Mary. How are you today?
Good, Rachel, very good. And you?
Oh yeah, good, good, good. So, if you just want to do a bit of a recap what we covered last week, and for anyone that's listening, and what we're actually going to cover today.
Okay. So last week I was talking about client A. I'm going through all the different clients I work with. Last week was client A, and they were people who actually hated their work but loved the organization they were working in, which is the physical environment, the people, conditions of employment, and the place. And I talked about how I would work with them in finding the career they love and to move on, because it was very hard when they would be on their own, hating their work and at the same time loving the place they worked in. So the day client B, I'm talking about people actually that love their work, but things have changed in the company, in the organization that they've worked in, and they realize for their own sense of self, for their own mental state of mind, they need to move on and change the environment, the physical environment, and move to another organization.
And would that be the same for someone that's moved from working in an office to working at home?
Well, firstly, a lot of people, if we go before what has happened now, I would be working with people that actually would love their work, but all of a sudden the organization merged with another company, and all of a sudden the values shifted. And remember, we are in organizations and we love working in an organization that meets our needs, expectations, and values. So people's values an organization consists of people. So when people, if they merge, a company merges, the organizational values might change. The way they treat people might change. Conditions of employment might change. Even their surroundings, their aesthetics might change. And when that would happen, they'd realize, I don't like what I stand for anymore in this company. I don't like what my company stands for. I don't like the values, and I must move on. Now, going back to your question, for people that have moved from working in organizations to working at home, like yourself, that is playing a big part of unrest for people as well, because I have talked to people and coached people that are leading people, they're leaders and they're having their meetings in groups on a Zoom. However, they're not finding it as fulfilling, as successful as being around the table face to face. So people are missing the interconnectedness, of being together face to face. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I can absolutely relate to that because I'm a people person. I love the interaction with people. And in the beginning, I was okay, using the laptop. But this week, I'm like, I would love to just hug someone, and just see their face in real life, and just have that close connection with clients again. So yeah, I can certainly relate to that. And how would coaching help someone in this situation right now?
Well, you see, I very much on my website, and I would say to anybody, I empower people to move from great to brilliant in all aspects of their life while remaining true to their value system. So coaching is all about, the essence of coaching is working with people to be true to themselves and their values. So how will coaching work for them? Work together as we would with the 4 sessions, again, an hour and a half each, and we would look at the first one, exploring everything, looking at what gives them satisfaction, what sort of a company would they like, and then what they don't like, and what is the reason they're unhappy where they are. So we would be doing very much a reality check with them, looking at where they are right now, looking at where and what they want to do, and that takes a process, and that takes sessions of coaching, because again, as you know, coaching is all about the questions you ask, the powerful questions you ask, and it's all about being curious and looking at different environments, exploring all types of companies, narrowing it down, then getting focused, then setting out a map, and a plan on how they're going to go about looking for the work that they love, but in a different organization. And it's a bit at the moment, as you can imagine, people are not moving because of fear. It's a bit difficult at the moment. There's challenges out there, and they're kind of going, well, I love my work, I'll put up with the company. That's okay, but it won't last forever, because what will happen is they'll dread going into work. They'll dread. And then remember, some people that come to me are being bullied in the environment, and bully is a huge amount of stress on people. And if they're being bullied, and there's 14 different ways you can be bullied, in an insidious way. So if they're being bullied and they're really suffering mentally and emotionally, is really as important as a coach to work with them and helping them and empowering them to move into a new environment and not run away, but look at everything, look at every possibility where they are. It might mean they might need to change their attitude. We could be working on them changing their attitude to what work they're doing and the organization, because sometimes it could be them that has changed and maybe they've changed and the organization hasn't, and maybe they've developed and the values are different now than they were, because as you know, when we develop as people, our values shift and change all the time. So it could be that that's happening and that's the reason they want to move on.
Yeah, I can certainly relate to that. So if anyone wants to get in contact with you today, Mary, in regards to coaching sessions, how do they do that?
Okay, well, you'll get me on www.marycurran.ie, or my email is marycurran@coachcentre.com, or they can get me on my mobile 086-232-8143. And then I am also on LinkedIn, and my Facebook page is Centre for Professional and Personal Development.
Great. And next week?
Yeah, so next week we're talking about the people that actually don't hate or love their work, don't hate or love the company. So they're very much stuck in the comfort zone. So they're in a place where the little gremlin is saying you're okay, you know, stay where you are, but they know, no, I need to give more to life. I haven't reached my potential, so I definitely need to move on. And they're really stuck. So that's what we're talking about next week, Rachel.
Great. And just you mentioned bullying there, you know, and people feeling bullied. Maybe that's something we could actually talk about, Mary, in another conversation, because it's something I think we can both relate to. And I think
I've coached a lot of people in the area of being, you know, the fact unfortunately they were being bullied and the strategies used and getting them how they could deal with that. Definitely that's something I could talk about, Rachel.
Brilliant. Yeah. So I didn't mean to cut you off. It was just, it came to my mind, and I just thought, you know what, a lot of people may feel they're being bullied at the moment, because especially when things change around you, you can feel intimidated. I can certainly relate to that in a lot of my career. So look, thank you, Mary. I really appreciate this morning, and talk to you next week.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.